In the near future, radiation therapy will become a regular part of your daily routine. The procedure is basically always the same, so it's best to ask your treatment team to describe exactly what your first session will be like. If they haven't already done so, that is. But to make sure you're well prepared, I'll also explain to you now what the radiation treatment process is generally like. About a week before the first session, you'll have an appointment for the planning CT scan. This means images will be taken to calculate the radiation plan. The goal is to determine how best to target the tumor with the radiation while protecting the healthy tissue as much as possible at the same time. At the same appointment, positioning aids like mats or cushions will be made for you or your child. These help ensure that the part of the body being irradiated remains still during the treatment. If the treatment is in the head area, a radiation mask made of a so-called thermoplastic material will be created at this time. This plastic is warmed in a water bath until it becomes very soft and is then molded to fit the head. It feels a bit like having a warm towel placed on the face. The mask has a frame like this one around the edge here, which will later be attached to the patient. This ensures that the head is always in exactly the same position during each session. To make sure your child or you as a teenager can breathe easily, the mask naturally has lots of holes. And it's also allowed to paint it. That means during the first CT for the planning, you'll already get to know the radiotherapy department and team a little bit personally. So on the first day of radiation, not everything will be completely new and unfamiliar to all of you. And the room where the radiation takes place looks pretty spacey, so it looks something like this photo here, or similar. I always have to think of a space station module when I see it. And then the patient will be positioned there on a movable patient table, and the table and the radiation device will be adjusted properly. This whole procedure is actually what takes up most of the time. It can take between 20 and 30 minutes until everything is ready and the actual radiation can begin. Your child or you as a teenager will already be lying on the table, maybe even already wearing the mask. For children under about 5 or 6 years old, this is usually still too difficult. That's why they are given a sedative. This means they don't get a full anesthesia, but are put into a kind of twilight sleep. You could also say they just take a nap. Some children wake up right after the radiation, while others only really become alert again in the recovery room. The medication is administered through a vein. This means the child will also need a venous catheter. Many already have a central line anyway, because of their various treatments, which may require one. And if not, then an access line is placed specifically for the radiation so that they don't have to be pricked every time or every day. If you want to learn more about catheters, it's best to watch our video on the topic. You don't feel anything from the radiation itself, and it only takes a few minutes. And during this time, everyone except the patient has to leave the room. This is to ensure that they are not exposed to radiation. However, parents have the opportunity to watch their child via video cameras for the entire duration of the radiation and can even talk to them through an intercom. Maybe you want to help your child pass the time by, I don't know, reading to them or playing their favorite music. An audio play or a podcast are also great ways to help pass the time. By the way, there shouldn't be any problems listening because the treatment room isn't loud. The machine just beeps or hums quietly as it moves around the patient like a UFO. But it never touches the body and can't fall down either. And in case you ever feel uncomfortable or need help as a patient, you'll be given a special buzzer to hold in your hand. You can press it at any time to interrupt the treatment and someone will come in right away. If everything goes well and the treatment time is over, you're usually done and can leave. Of course, after the session, you can also ask the medical team any questions you might have. For example, if you have any questions about nutrition or skincare during radiation therapy. If you don't want to wait until then, go ahead and watch the video about what you need to pay attention to during and after radiation therapy. Maybe you'll already find some answers there to questions that are really pressing for you right now. There are also child-friendly books that explain the procedure of radiotherapy. Especially for younger children, they can help, so your child is not afraid of the therapy. Just ask the staff. In this book, for instance, radiotherapy is explained step by step for children. So this can help to give your child even more reassurance along the way. Or you can also watch our video together on radiation therapy for kids.